Welcome back to the largest and finest high school field house in the world, Newcastle, Indiana. The home every year, the girls and boys Henry Community Health Hall of Fame Classic. Time for game number 2. It is South Knox, who is the favorite in 2A going into the postseason a month from now against Hamilton Southeastern, a team that some think if there is a squad that can hang with Lawrence Central, maybe just maybe, it is the Royals of HSE. Today's game presented in part by Galitco and Daily. Work Injury Lawyers. Learn more at IndianaWorkers.com and IndyMalpractice.com. By the Indy Card Exchange. Look on the IndyCardExchange.com to see you can make money off of your collection. And by Visit Henry County. Take your shot in Henry County, Indiana. Visit hoopsinhenry.com for trip planning ideas. Alongside Indiana Basketball Hall of Famer Pete Smith. My name is Greg Rakestraw. Thank you so much for joining us. And, we saw 2 4A powers in game number 1. This game is kind of what this tournament can be about. A chance for a really good small school to test their mettle against one of the great schools in the state. Pete, tell us about the Spartans of South Knox.
Well, they are testing it down there, Greg, because they're playing outstanding schools. Maybe not having great seasons, but, South Knox coming off a big win against Castle, one of the largest schools in southern Indiana. But this is a little bit different level. But this team is a very good three-point shooting team. They shoot the ball well at a high clip. They're patient, and yet they do like to run if they are given that opportunity.
On the flip side, Hamilton Southeastern, they have been good every year. They were the state champs in 2019. What's unique is their head coach, Chris Huppenthal, retired. Brian Satterfield then moves from the boys' side to the girls' side. Guess who Brian Satterfield's assistant is this year? Chris Huppenthal is back as an assistant coach. You've got a world of experience on that sideline, and frankly, a lot of experience on that team. Maya Makaluski is going to play for Terry Moran at IU. She's back as a 6'4 senior. Really, 7 of your top 8 players turned from last year's 21-win team. And you said it well in the other game, partner. If they can survive their own sectional, the Hamilton County sectional, you get the feeling HSE's got a really good shot of getting back to Central Indiana and playing in the state championship game on March 1st.
Yes, that's a tremendous sectional, and Hamilton Southeastern has a 4-point win in the regular season so far and a conference win over Noblesville, which is one of the stronger teams, but that sectional is a dogfight. Their crosstown rival, Fishers, they beat by, I think it was 16 in the Mudsock game the other day. Still a pretty good team. You got to be ready to play against them.
I would say there's more of a gap this year between the number 1 team in that sectional than other teams in most years. But you're right. There is nothing easy that will come from that sectional. Turn it over to Chad Nickham, our public address announcer for the boys basketball, girls basketball state finals, and here in Newcastle as well for our pregame introductions, recognition of teams and officials.
Of South Knox and the Hamilton Southeastern Royals. At this time, if you would, please welcome the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame members, Teresa Wynn, Judy Warren, and Jennifer Voorhees, as they present plaques to our officials for today's second game, Lynn Blevins, Matthew Sheehan, and Ronnie Branch. And now please welcome Hall of Famer Joe Lentz as he presents a plaque to South Knox coach Holly Eaves.
So the head coaches will receive plaques as well for having their teams being in this event. While these are being handed out, first to Holly Eaves of South Knox, then to Ryan Satterfield of Hamilton Southeastern. I want to thank our buddy Aaron Pittman, Jake Hinson as well, for Virtual Announcer as they sponsor our starting lineups. Mic'd Up and Virtual Announcer brings you the complete game day audio experience. Mic'd Up now delivers Game 7 to your entire athletic department with our Virtual Announcer and DJ Mike Game Day Radio. Screen to ensure a family-friendly yet electric atmosphere. Mic'd Up will change the way you hear the game, feel the game, and experience the atmosphere. Contact Jake Hinson for your demo at 317-649-3721 or email jake@virtualannouncer.org. Again, back to Chad Nickham. Let's introduce you to the South Knox Spartans.
Number 4, Zoe Gilmore. Number 12, Ellie Burke. Number 15, Layla Thomas. Number 22, Calissa Lavely. Number 23, Brindley Millspaw. Number 24, Sarah French. Number 32, Angel Hatcher. And number 40, Addison Wilkinson. And now the starting lineup for the Lady Spartans at guard, a 5'9" senior wearing number 2, Ella Bowe. At guard, a 5'9" sophomore, number 3, Kendall Hill. Starting today at forward, a 5'8" junior wearing number 10, Madison Parrish. At forward, a 6' senior, number 11, Bren Hill. And a guard, a 5'7" sophomore, wearing number 20, Grace Detweiler. The head coach of the Lady Spartans in her 11th season, Holly E. And now let's meet the home team on the scoreboard, the Hamilton Southeastern Royals. Today the roster includes number 4, Abby Orm. Number 10, Maine Hooks. Number 12, Ant Green. Number 14, Abby Brown. Number 22, Ava Kashani. Number 23, Abby Clayton. And number 42, Kinley Johnson. Starting lineup now for the Royals. At forward, a 5'11" senior wearing number 24, Addison Van Heusen. At forward, a 6' junior wearing number 20, Kayla Stidham. At guard, a 5'8" junior, number 11, Kennedy Holman. At guard, a 5'7" senior wearing number 5, Kayla Brindley. At a guard, a 6'4" senior wearing number 3, Maya Makaluski. The head coach of the Royals in his 4th season, Brian Satterfield.
Want to thank Jordan Shue as well as Eric Cadet, our behind-the-scenes crew, and not to mention Automatic on our baseline cameras as well. Pete, final thoughts before this one goes live.
Good challenge for South Knox to see if they can play with the best teams in Central Indiana. I think it's going to be a great game. I do. Size scares me a little bit. Southeastern has a definite height advantage. Offensive putbacks could be a key for the Royals. Loser turns and plays at 6 against Homestead. Winner takes on the defending 4A champs in Lawrence Central at approximately 7:45. Thanks for joining us, spending part of your holiday with us on the ISC Sports Network. South Knox in red, HSC in white. Spartans have the basketball to start things off.
Height didn't matter on the tip.
Ella Bobe, the star player, 16.5 points a contest. Outstanding. This team shoots a lot of threes, 7 made threes a game. And immediately, this one will go wide right. Instead of the rebound for HSC. On the drive, players stumbled for Hamilton Southeastern. Van Hosen had it, but then quickly taken back away by Bren Hill. Somehow HSE gets out of there with it. Makaluski for 3. And that's going to be a foul against Bobe as she was blocking out Holman by the time she was already in the air.
Holman with a good job being aggressive and crashing the board there, and that forced the foul on Bobe.
Bobe will play at Southern Indiana. Touch last by Hamilton Southeastern. Turnover by the Royals. That's off of Kayla Brindley, 5'7" senior. 3 points and 2 rebounds a game.
Going to see a lot of three-point shots by the Spartans of South Knox.
Hamilton Southeastern, their own accord, 36% from 3.
True.
6.5 threes a contest.
I think they can score more inside and will take advantage of it this game.
Yeah, they're literally taller at virtually every position is Hamilton Southeastern, as you would expect, with an enrollment difference of nearly 3,000 students between the two schools.
I thought you meant the water in Central Indiana compared to Southern. It grows players taller. As you said, as expects.
A long possession, not the worst thing in the world for South Knox.
No, I was going to say that the longer the possession, the better for South Knox, as long as they get a good shot after it. And they did there.
That shot does not go. Good weak side crash. Putback is good for Ella Bobe. First Division I player from South Knox since 1988 She go plays at home with the Screaming Eagles a year from now. So first bucket belongs to the Spartans on the isolation, touch last by HSE.
And Bobe did a good job of backing off Holman because she picked up that first foul on the block out, and she knows she's one person. I think she's the most important person, quite frankly, her senior leadership on this team. I'll tell you, the two Hill girls are really good for them also.
4A wins against North, Castle, North as in Evansville North, and New Albany so far this year for South Knox.
And big wins, I mean, by large margins.
Castle, probably the best of those three teams. Deep three, Bow, but no, but long rebounds lead to put-back baskets. Second straight trip. Bucket is good for Grace Detweiler. Detweiler, a 5'7" sophomore. 7.5 points and 3.5 rebounds a game. South Knox already a tournament winner this year. They won one of my favorite named tournaments of the season, the Cluckers Classic down in Corden. Beat New Albany, Corden Central, and Washington in that tournament.
Real nice possession there. Kennedy Holman did the curl cut on one reversal.
Holman, 9.5 points in contest, 6 boards and 5 assists a game as well. Holman 11th in the state in assists. The step back three, no. And Makalewski could not hang on to it. And Makalewski's older sister plays for Austin Parkinson at Butler. Maya will play for Indiana University. And again, she is a fantastic three-point shooter. And at 6'4", that is why she is a
wide open.
Major conference player.
Couldn't find her fast enough. Two players were out on the perimeter.
Isolation for Bobe, and couldn't get the turnaround to go. Maya will bring the ball in the front court. Her mom played at Villanova. When she and her sister were together at HSE, they called them the Splash Sisters, which is a wonderful nickname.
Here's that curl cut again by Holman. They stop it this time. Oh, good. Pick the picker play. Very good. Once the roller came through, they've screened on the weak side. And boy, that's a great tandem when you got Holman. Okay, we stop her. Here comes Makalewski.
There you go.
Yep, Makalewski.
You can go first name basis Maya if you want to.
Now I know this name better. I've had the chance to call games for her before, darn it.
That's going to be an air ball three. That's taken and missed by Bren Hill. Bren and Kendall are sisters. Bren the senior, Kendall the sophomore. Of the top 6 players that routinely see minutes, 3 seniors for the South Knox team. Went 23-2 a season ago. Went 7-1 in the blue chip. On the drive and won't go, but Kayla Stidham will get 2 free throws.
A really good take. She got that left hand, that dribble past the defender. Then you're just at wit's end trying to think, okay, do I foul? Do I back off? No one came over and really helped and stopped the ball there.
Stidham on the season, a 62% free throw shooter, but looked much better than that. 10 points, 4 rebounds, a 39% three-point shooter. She and Holman, frankly, are the stars of the team next year. They're both back a season from now. They play more of a support role to Makalewski on this year's squad. 6 in a row now for the Royals.
Delaney Combs checked in during that free throw for South Knox.
Combs gets regular minutes off the bench, 4.5 points a game. And just spacing the floor looking for those deep shots. And I'm not sure she called glass, but she can count it regardless.
Doesn't matter. It's like a 7-10 split. Hit the head pin, still get that strike in bowling. Or the 7-10, one or the other.
Makalewski gets rolling downhill and doesn't get it to go. South Knox doing a very effective job on the glass. That's a big part of the story of this game.
They seem like they're a little bit more into it right now than the Royals, too.
Makalewski may have gotten away with some contact there.
Yeah, straight up, though. Makalewski, good job keeping her arms straight up.
Trailer three, and the fact that, given the contact she took, that she got that on the rim was impressive. Because Parrish, a misdemeanor-like foul on that one. So Maya on the season, an 81% free throw
Here
shooter.
she comes as the trailer, just gets her arm, and as you said, wow, it's amazing that she got it to the rim like that.
Well, I want to thank our buddy Corey Murphy and the good folks at Visit Henry County and hoopsinhenry.com. Take your shot in Henry County. basketball destinations, and so much more. Visit hoopsandhenry.com for trip planning ideas.
A couple Royals came in, number 12, Ant Green, and number 14, Abby Brown.
Makalewski makes all three. The great scorers do not give away points at the line. 9-7. Catch and shoot three does not go. Stidham, the rebound, but great hands by Hill to poke it free. Not sure if that was a shot or a pass. Either way, it did not work, but it was touched last by the Royals.
I'm not sure she knew what to do. Just again, the taller player, when she faced up and tried to shoot it, knew that she couldn't get the shot off and tried to dump it off. Kept possession though.
Stidham had her hands in the passing lane.
Patience is a virtue here for South Knox. Take your time and get a good one. That's a good one.
Deep three does not go. It was the straight ahead chance of trying to bank it in. Stidham camping in the corner. Knocks that one down.
Yeah, they got to find her faster. They didn't find her. I shouldn't say faster than that. They never found her in defensive transition.
It is a 12-3 run for HSE.
Stidham doesn't get a lot of praise overall because of the other great players they have, but she's a good player.
Another deep three is good for Coombs.
2 of 4 from behind the line. One banked in, one straight in.
Again, as a team, the percentage is not great for South Knox, but volume shooting, they will keep flying them.
Well, she came off the bench already ready to shoot it.
Same goes for Makalewski Pure. We had the pleasure of seeing her play in the junior all-star game at Scottsburg, and she had 4 straight trips. We hit a shot from that spot. Boom, boom, boom against Kentucky back in early June.
And you think sometimes that's not a good shot. Well, it is for her.
It is for her. Steal for Makalewski on the drive and score it. And she's got 10. Here comes the timeout for South Knox. 17-10. HSE the early lead. Let's see if it's a full or a 30. Coming here for the Spartans. It's a full timeout, so we'll take it with them. Back in a moment. You're watching the Henry Community Health Hall of Fame Classic on ISC.
Basketball in Henry County, Indiana means
the home of Hoosiers,
where legends live.
Basketball in Henry County, Indiana means
a giant field house
and basketball courts in every park.
Basketball in Henry County, Indiana means
family
and friends
and team
and fans.
Basketball in Henry County, Indiana means
memories
and history
and future
and hope.
Basketball
lives
here.
Basketball lives here in Henry County, Indiana.
Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitko and Daly. We go to work when you can't.
Makalewski 10 of the HSE 17. 7-point lead for the Royals here with 90 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Winner gets Lawrence Central in tonight's championship game. Good backdoor cut. Just Detweiler kind of lost her positioning on the floor.
Yeah, Ella Bobe did a nice job finding her. She set that up really well with the way she attacked the dribble on the block. Too easy.
Makalewski on the low block, a dozen. And tallest player for South Knox is Hill at 6 foot. Makalewski at 6'4".
Had the opposite. It was a diagonal block screen and just too easy. They got to either switch it or fight over the top of it. She just got another one.
Steal by Makalewski, but couldn't hang on to the basketball. Jump ball, and the arrow will point the way of the Royals. Turnover committed by South Knox. Madison Parrish will check in. Coombs will check out. And Makalewski checks out.
1-3-1 defense, maybe? Yep, 1-3-1. It's a soft 1-3-1, so they're not trapping the initial corner. The ball was either thrown into or dribbled into there.
By the way, Ellie Burke was in briefly for South Knox. She has checked back out for the Spartans as well. And we are fortunate in where we get to sit. We can kind of hear what coaches are saying, and you may have heard, she's out, we got to go. That means that Makalewski's getting a break for HSE. That's South Knox saying, okay, we can do things differently now because there's 6'4" Big Ten players not in the game. And so with that, here comes the trap by South Knox. Wing 3, no. Long rebound, fight for. Tracked down eventually by Hamilton Southeastern. Now on the attack, turning down what would have been a 2. Stidham won't do the same, but she missed it. But Hamilton Southeastern able to track down the rebound.
They've got all the 50-50 balls so far this first 7 minutes and 50 seconds of the game.
Royals may try to hold for a last shot. South Knox going to make that tough. Clock is at 8. Holman got fouled, and that's the 4th foul against South Knox. So I don't think they were trying for this. They had a foul to give in that scenario.
Yeah, that was a good foul.
Detweiler gives.
Except it did give them a
correct.
chance to get Maya back in the game.
So Green will inbound here in front of us. Trying to run a duck in for McAlusky. Now she'll try the fadeaway, no. And that is the end of the quarter. But 4-0 lead for South Knox. They have scored just 2 3-pointers since that time. Took a minute for HSC to find their footing. Royals now lead it by 9. We're back to Newcastle in a moment to watch the Hall of Fame Classic on ISC.
Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitko and Daly. We go to work when you can't.
Basketball in Henry County, Indiana means
The home of Hoosiers.
Where legends live.
basketball in Henry County, Indiana means
a giant field house.
And basketball courts in every park.
basketball in Henry County, Indiana means
Family.
And friends.
And team.
And fans.
basketball in Henry County, Indiana means
Memories.
And history.
And future.
And hope.
Basketball
Lives.
Here.
Basketball lives here in Henry County, Indiana.
Greg Rakestraw, Pete Smith with you on the ISC Sports Network. Thanks to Matt Martin. Thanks to Corey, Noah, everybody else with the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame staff for being so gracious to us. Corey Bennett, who's the athletic director here at Newcastle. We are so lucky. We have now been here 6 times in the last 7 years to produce this event on ISC.
Got to get the Hill girls started. Neither one, their second and third leading scorers have not scored in the ball game. There's Matt, there's in the corner there, Bryn Hill.
Steal by Hamilton Southeastern. Abby Brown hustles down the floor, missed the layup, but good rebound, quick tie-up. That was Maine Hooks that grabbed it, and the arrow will point to Hamilton Southeastern.
Offensive boards, the Royals have dominated this first quarter plus.
And frankly, you would expect that.
Yeah, but a lot of them haven't been like out jumping, just balls that come off hard off the rim, and it seems like they're a little bit more court aware of where they're coming off of. Stidham, Stidham was the second cutter. I think she's missed her there.
And Houston through her hands, turnover. HSC second.
Pretty good execution, just didn't catch the ball in the cut.
Bowe, the long 3, no. Part of a 4-player recruiting class coming into USI, 2 of them from the state of Indiana. Another one is about as close as you can get without being from Indiana. Harrison High School in Ohio, whose big rival is in the state of Indiana, that being East Central. McAlusky, left hand, catch it and score.
Yep, one reversal, cross screen, diagonal screen from low block to high block, got her wide open.
McAlusky with 14 again. She averages 22. Her scoring actually down from a season ago. Part of that just the development of teammates around her.
Right.
3 from the wing for South Knox does not go. Good look ahead pass to Holman. Holman will take it herself. Contested shot. McAlusky ordered for run to the floor. She's got 16. Lead up to a baker's dozen for Hamilton Southeastern. 3 at the other end is good. That's made by Kendall Hill. Third made 3 by South Knox, and the average making 7 a game.
She had 13 in their win against Castle, their last game they played. She's got to get on track, so does Bren, for them to get back in this contest, down 10.
Couple of big games on the South Knox. It's going to get jump ball. It's turnover, yep. Arrow points that direction. Couple of big games in the South Knox schedule. They will go to Evansville Memorial, their next game, which will be Monday, January the 6th. Then they will host Evansville Central on January the 25th.
Yeah, Memorial always a solid program with Rick Wilgus. Heck of a program. Bruce Dockery down there and the girls too got it going very well.
They and Gibson Southern have had some wars the last years in the postseason. That will not happen this year because Gibson Southern is in 4A. While that conversation taking place, offensive rebound and one opportunity for South Knox, and they're back within 8 points.
Yeah, Kendall Hill, listen to me, I guess. Good offensive rebound there for putback. She caused a turnover with a jump ball. Hit a three the possession before here.
Makaleski.
Yep, she has a good spin. She got Makaleski outside, got to the rim. Cut it to 7 with a made free throw.
First free throw attempted and made by South Knox.
So they went some 1-3-1 when Makaleski was out, but now they're back to man-to-man defensively.
Trying to get to Van Hoosen. Good job to bump the cutter that time by South Knox. Fourth HSE turnover.
I'd let Hill shoot it again. She's on a hot streak. She's looking for it.
And that's going to be a foul as Bobe could not get to her spot. Holman called for the foul. Second team foul of the quarter against Hamilton Southeastern. 6 quick points here for the Spartans.
Gotta help her. Gotta help her.
Ball was deflected.
Stolen. Yep. Yeah, not good execution on that out-of-bounds play.
Makaleski on the drive, no, but sometimes you pad your rebound numbers. You put on the rims and go get it.
So quick to the ball.
She's got 18.
She gets off her feet really fast.
Up and under, shot does not go. And Makaleski wrestles that ball away. Had the pleasure of watching her play a lot the last 2 or 3 years.
Oh.
She turns it over. I'm going to say a nice thing about her. She turns it over.
Well, she thought Holman was making a basket cut to the strong side block, and she did not.
She is a more complete player than she used to be. You can tell that she has worked on the other elements of her game, just not shooting. On the turn, offensive foul.
Must have hooked her with the elbow.
Bryn Hill commits the foul.
Like the aggressiveness, just hooked her with the elbow.
And a timeout going to be taken by Hamilton Southeastern. It is a full timeout, so let's step aside as well. 4:24 to play in the second quarter. HSC the ball in a 9-point lead when we come back to Newcastle as you're watching on ISC.
Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitko and Daly. We go to work when you can't.
Back to Newcastle. Greg Rakestraw, Pete Smith with you on ISC. Again, this is kind of a found money game for South Knox. They want to be competitive. If you're going to play the game, you want to win the game. But again, this is just to get you ready for the state tournament. You know, if you can hang with an HSE or a Homestead or a Lawrence Central, you can hang with anybody in the 2A classification. Extended zone pressure here by South Knox.
Yeah, 2-3 this time. They played some 1-3-1 earlier.
Stidham has made one from that spot. She's made two from that spot.
I like how she just plays under control. She had a nice drive on the only shot she missed that got to the rim.
Third made three for Hamilton Southeastern. Second by Stidham. Good move by Hill, couldn't finish. Hamilton Southeastern opened their season with a win against Lawrence North by 10. They'll actually play LN a second time coming up in January.
Yeah, I saw that.
Stidham, not that time, but there's Makaleski. Weak side, one dribble to get set, missed it, and Van Hoosen going to be called for a foul going the other direction.
Yeah, nice block out there by Ella Bobe.
Of course, I had to ask Keith Dodds from Media 5 Sports, who does all the from South Knox. Listen, the Bobe name is known very well for its pizza in that area of the state. And he said, distant relatives. I said, okay, good.
They're distant relatives, but great pizza. Several locations in southern Indiana. I prefer the one in downtown Vincennes.
We are lucky enough on IHSAA to get to broadcast a Washington football game every year, and that was the dinner of choice before the game at Hatchet Hollow back in September. Was Bobe's. Runner does not go for Hill. Fight for the loose ball. Bobe, no, but she'll shoot 2. So Bobe to the line for the first time today.
Ella had 26 in their win, or 24 in their win against Castle. And I happen to know her father rather well, though I didn't recognize him right away today, wearing a ball cap and being a dad, because normally I see him in a nice suit, as he is the superintendent of North Knox Schools. And super guy, Daryl Bobe. Daughter Ella makes them both.
Ella, the all-time leading scorer in South Knox program history. She's 150 points away going in now, 146, of being the leading scorer of any school that has ever consolidated into South Knox High School as well. Holman around her defender and turns down the 2.
Oh, good basket cut. That was just too easy.
Makaluski.
Again, I say too easy. They're not jumping to the ball defensively.
Great hustle by Green. Better hustle by Bobe. Somehow finds a teammate in Hill. Hill, the turnaround, left it short and touched last by Makaluski.
Addison Van Hosen did a good job of getting her stopped defensively. Actually, that was Abby Brown. I'm sorry, wrong 4. I saw a 4. It was 14. Abby Brown defensively cut off Hill to the basket. Bren still scoreless so far.
Coombs back in there for South Knox. Already made a couple of threes. So she tries again. That one left short. But the long rebounds have been the ally of South Knox. Bobe in the lane, her second field goal.
And I think she posts up pretty well down in southern Indiana. A couple inches taller on every player here. She got that one figured out and found the rim.
And playing in the OVC next year, she'll have to be a guard at that level. Just an all-around great player at this level. Brown on the drive. And then Sidham flares out for a 3. Doesn't make that one. Good crash by Holman, though, and 1. Kevin Holman gets her second field goal and a chance to make it a 3-point play.
She's not real tall, but boy, she skied after that one.
Subs will be waved on. Detweiler back in for South Knox. Stidham will get a breather for Hamilton Southeastern as Brindley checks back in. 8-player rotation for the Royals. Missed free throw by Holman. Not a great free throw shooter, 53%.
Little ISO here.
Yep.
Good job, though, by Brindley defensively to make her give it up. Then they switched defensively on that.
Good movement by South Knox. Leads to a good look for Bobe. Even though it didn't go, you'll take that every time down.
Yeah, anytime you get her open, she's got to shoot it. Ella does.
Maya Makaluski feels the same way. You see why. 23 for Makaluski. Second year that IU has had a recruit play in this event. Faith Wiseman of Indian Creek was here a year ago. They finished 3rd in last year's Classic. 3 is good for Madison Parrish. 3rd different player for South Knox to connect from 3-point range.
Three-two zone, maybe?
Yep.
They're talking it through, just making sure they got the areas covered.
Which is a lot more common than it used to be to try to cover 3-point shooters. As I say that, Makaluski gets a look. That does not go.
I think it was a little bit quicker than what Coach Satterfield wanted.
I think Makaluski had a touch there, did she?
Just looking at Brian's expression after the shot, I think he thought they could probably get that earlier. Maya's going to take a break here, end of the quarter.
So Hill will come back in to replace Delaney Coombs.
ISO, yeah, nice ISO there. Oh, they called Bobe for
which is her second.
Backing her down. I did see her arms down a little bit. I didn't see how far down and they must have had her hooked. That's a tough call. Just from the standpoint, that's her second foul here, and she was on offense and not even touching the ball at the time.
See if HSC just kind of holds the floor for one here, knowing that Makaluski is getting a breather out of the game.
Well, and Holman's going to maybe, well, I thought Holman may try to take her with 2 fouls, get her to pick up her third.
Both Stidham and Makaluski getting a breather. Stidham back in there now.
This is the matchup you want for Southeastern right now. Good, just a cross cut.
Stidham shot blocked. Good job by Hill defensively. See, clock is on your screen. HSC does not have a foul to give. Wing 3, no. And that's the end of the half. Hamilton Southeastern looking the part of the second best team in the state. They lead the 7th-ranked Spartans of South Knox 35-23. We'll take this time out. Halftime coverage comes your way next as you're watching the Henry Community Health Hall of Fame Classic on the ISC Sports Network.
Basketball in Henry County, Indiana means
The home of Hoosiers.
Where legends live.
basketball in Henry County, Indiana means
a giant field house,
And basketball courts in every park.
basketball in Henry County, Indiana means
Family.
and friends.
And team.
And fans.
basketball in Henry County, Indiana means
Memories.
And history.
And future.
And hope.
Basketball.
Lives.
Here.
Basketball lives here in Henry County, Indiana.
Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitko and Daly. We go to work when you can't.
Halftime of the second game of the Henry Community Health Hall of Fame Classic. It is Hamilton Southeastern 35 and South Knox 23. Today's games on the ISC Sports Network brought to us by Galitko and Daly. Turn to experienced lawyers for help at Galitko and Daly PC. Our passionate goal is to bring the power of the law to meet the needs of the injured and those that have suffered medical harm. Learn more at indianaworkers.com and indymalpractice.com. Well, 23 points for South Knox, 23 for Maya Makaluski. She has been phenomenal in this first half for Hamilton Southeastern.
She's been great, and defensively, South Knox usually gives up 39.4%, so again, or 39.4 points a game, so defensively you can tell a little bit different level of competition they're used to playing, and Maya really got it going here in that second quarter.
For South Knox, 6 each for Ella Bobe, Kendall Hill, and Delaney Coombs. Again, you see a lot of things that make South Knox a very good team at the 2A level. Again, I referenced this going to break. They're number 1 in 2A. The Sagarin has them 6. That's overall. The Coaches Bowl has them 7. That's overall. So they're going to be one of the better teams in the state. Yeah. Again, they're a really good team. It's just they're kind of outmanned about 3 or 4 inches almost in every position in today's game.
Yeah, height-wise, they're really struggling to battle the Royals. I'm sure they see some taller teams down there too, but the Royals have some good strength inside with Stidham, big tall girl. Makaluski is just, she can do anything. She's just a great player, and obviously a Miss Basketball leading candidate, one of the leading candidates.
We'll talk a lot about Bobe. Again, from a scoring standpoint, she averages 16.5, Brent Hill 13.5, Kendall Hill 13.4. So their scoring is pretty balanced, but Bobe is the player kind of identified as the star of that group. How can South Knox get her more involved offensively?
Yeah, she hasn't got a lot of touches, and she's picked up 2 fouls here in the first half. You and I were talking during the break. She's a very aggressive player. She kind of initiates contact sometimes offensively and defensively. I think Brent Hill is the biggest thing. She hasn't scored a point yet. She's averaging 13.5. I've only got her taking 3 shots so far. So that's, they got to get her going to have that third, offensive threat.
We'll take this quick timeout. We'll come back with first half highlights and a recap of game number 1 that was dominated by the Lawrence Central Bears. They await the winner of this one in tonight's championship game. Our score at the break, Hamilton Southeastern 35 and South Knox 23. Back in a moment on the ISC Sports Network.
basketball in Henry County, Indiana means
The home of Hoosiers.
Where legends live.
basketball in Henry County, Indiana means
A giant field house.
And basketball courts in every park.
basketball in Henry County, Indiana means
Family.
and friends.
and team.
and fans.
Basketball in Henry County, Indiana means
Memories.
And history.
And future.
And hope.
Basketball
Lives.
Here.
Basketball lives here in Henry County, Indiana.
Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitco and Daly. We go to work when you can't.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitco and Daly. We go to work when you can't.
At the break, our score, Hamilton Southeastern 35 and South Knox 23. Let's show you the first half highlights from this one. Let's give you the team numbers while we are doing that. Hamilton Southeastern 13 of 28 from the floor, 4 of 9 from three-point range, and 5 of 6 from the line. South Knox was 8 of 29. They were 4 of 19 from three-point range and 3 of 3 from the stripe. Rebounds were not tilted crazily in favor of Hamilton Southeastern, 20-17. They were even 9-9 on the offensive glass. 5 assists to 7 turnovers for South Knox. 9 assists to 4 turnovers for Hamilton Southeastern. In terms of foul trouble, Bren Hill 2, Ella Bobe 2 for South Knox. No HSE player has more than a foul. Makalewski, in addition to the point she has scored, has 4 steals. She is 9 of 15 from the free throw stripe in today's game. Overall, Pete, your thoughts on those first half numbers?
Well, you can tell South Knox likes to shoot the three, but they have been unsuccessful. They're 4 of 19 for 21% from three. They've got to have some go down, and credit Hamilton Southeastern for almost forcing them out farther than what they like to shoot it from, I can tell. I mean, when Combs came in, they were deep threes that she shot, and she made a couple of them. But overall, again, I think you got to get Bren Hill started. 0 for 3 in the game, as I mentioned earlier, and she's the second leading scorer on this Spartan team. I'll watch to see if the Royals have been taking her out of it or if she just hasn't been engaged that much.
While we have the opportunity to take a look back at what happened in the previous contest, that between Lawrence Central and Homestead. And again, Homestead got down in the first couple of minutes, then quickly got it back level. But LC had a finishing kick to the first half, an 11-1 run, and there was no answer for those Spartans from that point in time on.
Yeah, really impressed with how LC just took charge right out of the gate. Homestead didn't make a few threes, actually made a few to start with. They stuck with them, but they got no points inside. They just lived and died on that three-pointer. Meanwhile, LC scored both inside and out, though most of those highlights were inside shots.
Jayla Lampley, 25 points, and partner, she made 5 threes. So again, loser this game has the quick turn. They come back and play at 6 o'clock in the consolation game against Homestead. Winner this game, well, they're rewarded. You get an extra hour and 45 of a break. The bad news is Lawrence Central's awaiting for you in the championship game, an LC team that has won 39 consecutive games, including last year's 4A championship. We'll take this quick timeout. Third quarter action comes right next from Newcastle. Royals lead it by a dozen on the ISC Sports Network.
Basketball in Henry County, Indiana means
The home of Hoosiers.
Where legends live.
basketball in Henry County, Indiana means
a giant field house.
And basketball courts in every park.
basketball in Henry County, Indiana means
Family.
And friends.
And team.
And fans.
basketball in Henry County, Indiana means
Memories.
And history.
And future.
And hope.
Basketball
Lives.
Here.
Basketball lives here in Henry County, Indiana.
Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to IndianaWorkers.com, a division of Galitco and Daly. We go to work when you can't.
Today's game on the ISC Sports Network, presented in part by the Indy Card Exchange. Now, for more than 30 years, the Indy Card Exchange has been your trusted source for buying and selling trading cards of all kinds. They're refining again professional grading with consultation services to save you time and money. Go to IndyCardExchange.com for more info and see how you can make money off of your collection. Michael Menser and his daughter enjoying the game today. Of course, Michael, unfortunately, finished his high school basketball career in this building against Newcastle back in 1997.
Unbelievable game, by the way.
It was. Now, I was at the Indy Card Exchange yesterday, and the crowd there was kind of similar to the crowd it is today. So that's a much more confined space. That place was humming yesterday, was the Indy Card Exchange.
Christmas money to go buy cards.
A little bit, or you're trying to take the cards that you actually
can you take them back?
that you got. And you're like, okay, wait a minute, I can make money off this. I'm going to go back to the store and see how much money they will buy them off, for me.
Got to save those for white elephant gifts.
Andy Albert's son, that entrepreneur that is behind the Indy Card Exchange, football player at Hamilton Southeastern High School. So here we go. 12-point lead for the Royals, trying to make the Hall of Fame Classic final. Square off with LC. And foul called away from the ball. It's going to be Kendall Hill on a hold.
Nice.
Left-hand shot is good.
Yep, slip screen there. Addison Van Hosen with her first basket of the game.
In fact, for HSE, only their top three players scored in the first half. But again, Makalewski was so dominant that it frankly did not matter. Lost the handle out of bounds. 8th South Knox turnover.
Man-to-man pressure put on by South Knox, trying to find some way to get back in the game. Just a little token pressure to make him throw the ball in bounds with a little bit of pressure on it. They're going to guard Holman as she dribbles it up.
Brindley catch and shoot three. That does not go. Great crash by both Holman and Makalewski. Makalewski comes out of there with a wide open three and buries it.
It's like a layup. Speaking of Brindley, that's her first shot attempt of the game. It was a set play to get her a shot, so Coach Satterfield trying to get her some offensive touches. She's played more minutes than anybody in the game. We've hardly mentioned her name.
Hill, shot blocked. And again, South Knox, double-digit offensive rebounds. That's a good sign.
That means they're going hard to the boards. They're playing aggressive. It's not because of lack of effort. It's just sometimes they're a little outmatched size-wise with some of the things that they have tried to do this afternoon against the Royals.
Bobe, 2 field goals so far. Trying to isolate her on Stidham.
Yep.
Shot blocked, Holman.
Boy, did a good job of being patient. Thought they saw it right there and couldn't get away with it.
Great read, though. That was Detweiler with the steal. Left-hand layup is good. Parrish the basket.
She's got 5 now for the Spartans.
But Makalewski, great find. Van Heusen could not connect. Missed opportunity there for Hamilton Southeastern. And Hill fouled on the drive. That's Brindley that commits the infraction. So side out of bounds here for South Knox. Coach Menser, we referenced him.
Yeah.
Assistant coach at Plainfield. Kurt Benj, the head coach. This is a bit of a scouting mission for him. Plainfield plays. Hamilton Southeastern next Saturday. Plainfield's really good.
Well, his daughter Hannah is really good too.
Yep.
Michael Menser.
Shot blocked again, Makaluski. And then runs the floor, catches in stride, scores again. 28 for Makaluski.
I kind of see why Terry likes her going down there to Bloomington.
Well, again, I'll repeat what I said earlier. Because of her size as a shooter, jump ball is called. Because of her size as a shooter, that's why you recruited in the first place. This is the best all-around game I have seen her play.
Well, and they've got some luck with Hamilton and Southeastern players down there.
Yeah, Sydney's doing all right down there.
Referring to Sydney Parrish, former Miss Basketball, who originally went to Oregon and is now playing for the Hoosiers. We saw her dad, Sean, in the crowd here during halftime. We got a camera shot of him. But you're right. Makaluski's overall game has really improved, not just being just a shooter now. She's made 2 steals in this game, blocked some shots.
Block-to-block pass. The bucket is good for Parrish. Her second field goal and as many buckets scored for South Knox.
How do you get back into it? You get stops and steals like there.
On the read, and one. Great read by Kendall Hill. The foul against Brindley. And a chance to make it a 12-point game with a made free throw, and Hill a second chance for an and one opportunity.
Just shot the passing lane there. The Royals a little casual or careless starting their offense.
Free throw missed. Hill averaging 8.5 assists a game that took that free throw and missed it for South Knox.
IHSAA, yep, they had the post open for Maya, couldn't get it to her. Travel.
Brown,
yep.
steps called. HSE a little more casual with the basketball here in half number 2. Letting South Knox hang around. Here's Coombs that made a couple of first quarter threes for the Spartans.
She was instant offense when she entered the game.
She is their leading scorer off the bench.
Yeah, she took 7 shots in the first half. Off the bench, that's a lot for a bench player.
Ball was kicked, yep.
And when I say a bench player, a person coming off the bench. Obviously, she's had some big games. She's been in double figures twice this year, I know, doing some homework. Gotta move, gotta move. They're just standing.
Come get it. Back to her.
In the corner, 3, no. Fight for the loose ball. Good work by Brindley. And Holman lays it up and in.
They just fell asleep defensively and didn't get back. Royals had three players across the 10-second line, but at the other end, Bryn Hill is on the board.
And she is their second leading scorer. 13.5 points and 8 rebounds a game. Her first basket of the game.
High post ball screen for Holman. Turns the corner.
And a moving screen called against Abby Brown.
You know, that's a tough place to set that screen. You have to be set because everybody sees you offensively when you're in the top of the circle there.
And oftentimes you're allowed to kind of have that first contact.
Yeah.
If there's a second bit of contact, that's where he's going to get
pass
popped
blocking
for it.
there in football there.
Uh-huh.
That one, she just kind of took an extra step.
2-man.
Pick and roll.
So South Knox
Yep,
standing their ground, but not going to make a dent yet. Bobe, the step through, got it.
Good recognition there. She had a smaller player on her.
So Bobe with 8. The South Knox crowd trying to make a little noise and support their team. Got it down to 11. It was 17 earlier in the quarter. Makaluski's trying to get the ball to the opposite side because she's had success on that kind of weak side cut through the course of the game.
She's wide open now. They found her.
Yeah, Bobe stumbled and then gave the foul.
That's a tough one.
So worst case scenario, she picks up her 3rd foul. Makaluski has 30 and a chance to add to it. And if you're South Knox, I think you kind of got to roll with Bobe with 3 fouls at this point.
I do too.
So Mikuleski connects from the free throw line. She is 4 of 4 at the stripe. And then a foul going to be called against Antoinette Green. Hill was going to be rotated back in, but elects to wave off the substitution to the Spartans. That'll be a foul against Green. And free throws coming up. So it'll be Kendall Hill that will shoot 2. She is 1 of 2 from the line. It has been a limited free throw game. HSE has shot 7. South Knox about to shoot numbers 5 and 6. That was the case in our first game as well. I want to thank our friends at Elite Gear for coming on board to sponsor these events in Newcastle. They handle athletic and corporate apparel, athletic uniforms, athletic hard goods, and athletic facilities, equipment, and supplies. Learn more at EliteGearPro.com.
Probably the most pressure we've seen South Knox try to put on the ball.
And Holman didn't bother her in the slightest.
Made it, yeah, she did a nice job just with controlled dribble across the 10-second line, and they couldn't stay in front of her.
She's got 8.
Straight line basket.
And 1. Hill the bucket. Well, the offense starting to click for South Knox. They just got to find some stops at the other end.
Absolutely, Greg. You've got to get some stops.
Stidham with the foul. So Hill to shoot a free throw here. South Knox 23 wins, and Hill crossed the free throw line, so no official attempt. South Knox 23 wins last year. There are 2 losses, both to North Knox. They beat North Knox on December 7th by 29 this season.
They have never advanced past the first game of the regional in girls basketball in the state tournament, South Knox. This is their chance this year for sure.
On the layup, it's Brown, her first field goal. Leading scorer off the bench for the Royals at 4 points a game. Top of the key 3, misses everything. Yeah, for South Knox, kind of some of the teams that would be in their path once you got past the sectional. You've got last year's 2A runners-up in Brownstown Central. And last year's 1A champs, the 2-time defending 1A champs in Lanesville, that both could be regional or semi-state foes for the Spartans. Brindley. And that's going to be a blocking foul. Just the 3rd team foul. And for South Knox, that is Layla Thomas.
Take Mikuleski out of the game, and South Knox right now is just as tall a lineup. If they can just get to the rim.
Holman, tough shot. No. Mikuleski kept it alive, but out of bounds to South Knox. And I would say if you take Mikuleski out of the game, these are 2 evenly matched teams, or South Knox is the better squad. That's how unique Mikuleski is in terms of her talents.
Yeah, Stidham's out of the game too, so that's a big key because she can play inside or out for the Royals.
1-4 high set. Mikuleski read it, just couldn't hang on to it. Isolation for Hill. That's going to be a foul against Green on the push.
Ant's got 3 fouls this quarter, I think.
So 2 free throws coming up. Hill 2 of 4 from the line. South Knox not a great free throw shooting team. As evidenced by that one.
Boy, you called that one, Greg.
Well, you see this at the 1A and 2A levels. There are some teams that are so athletically gifted that the shooting numbers tend not to matter. That might be kind of the case for
Lawrence Central too, and right now they're not shooting the ball great at the free throw line, though they made some big ones early to build that lead up.
Connects on this one. So Hill with 10. First South Knox player. They've been very balanced today, have the Spartans.
1-3-1. They're going to go back to the 1-3-1 here towards the end of the quarter. See if they can force a turnover.
Almost got it.
It's because Makaleski's out of there, and they did force the turnover.
There's the read. And Hill got the layup. Hill with a dozen. And at 11 points, this is as close as this has been in some time.
Coach Eves wants another steal here before the end of the quarter.
Holman weaving through traffic. Stidham takes the tougher shot and knocks it home.
She's a player.
Her third three. She's got 11. Bobe looking to answer. Got it. Her first three. She's got 11, and that will be the lead going to quarter number 4. South Knox has hung around. They've got 8 minutes to make up an 11-point deficit. You're watching the Hall of Fame Classic from Newcastle on the ISC Sports Network.
Basketball in Henry County, Indiana means
The home of Hoosiers.
Where legends live.
basketball in Henry County, Indiana means
a giant field house.
And basketball courts in every park.
basketball in Henry County, Indiana means
Family.
And friends.
And team.
And fans.
basketball in Henry County, Indiana means
Memories.
And history.
And future.
And hope.
Basketball
Lives.
Here.
Basketball lives here in Henry County, Indiana.
(54-43). Hamilton Southeastern with the lead against South Knox. Again, alongside Pete Smith. Greg Rakestraw with you. Thank you so much for joining us on the ISC Sports Network.
Good third quarter offensively for South Knox. They outscored them 20-19, but they've got to get more stops here and quickly. This is a team that they need to get back in single-digit striking range here in the first couple minutes.
Winner of this game gets Lawrence Central tonight. The loser has the tough turnaround. They got to play at 6 o'clock in the consolation game against Homestead. Makaleski back in. Holman, no problem.
Well, nice set for her. She could use the double screen at the top, the stagger double. She refused and went to the right side when it was cleared out. And she is definitely a strong right-handed driver and offensive player.
The big three for Hamilton Southeastern. Have 52 of their 56. Makaleski trying to add to that, the step through, and I think she kept thinking contact was coming, that never did. But Holman is there and scores anyway. And now a timeout called by Coach Satterfield and HSE. It is a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here. This 30-second timeout brought to us by the Indy Card Exchange. Now for more than 30 years, the Indy Card Exchange has been your trusted source for buying and selling trading cards of all kinds. And they are refining the game of professional grading with consultation services to save you time and money. Go to IndyCardExchange.com for info and see how you can make money off of your collection.
We mentioned the coaching staff as we take a look inside the huddle of the Royals. You've got Coach Satterfield right there. Only coached 2 Mr. Basketballs while he was the boys coach at Hamilton
in back-to-back
Southeastern.
years, yes.
Then the one talking to the official, Chris Uppenthal, won the state championship as the head coach of the Royals girls program. There you see Up in 2019. So, besides a pretty good support staff there, 2 really good head coaches in that huddle.
There's just a few hundred wins on that sideline. Brian won 322 games in 20 years as the boys coach at HSE.
Okay, now South Knox moving so much better here, middle of the third quarter and the start of the fourth quarter than they were, but there's the challenge right there, the length.
Shot no good. Good job by Stidham on the weak side glass.
Holman slows it down. Notice she always gets to this left side. She likes to play downhill using that right hand. Pick and pop.
Stidham again.
Long.
She may have been too open on that one.
Yeah, she was. She was too. Yeah, 2 Spartans went with Holman and left her wide open on the reversal pass.
And Mikuleski 31, 12 for Holman, 11 for Stidham. Bobe, no. Good job by Hill, and she's fouled.
Yeah, Brent Hill's had a much better second half. Just did not get very many great looks in the first half. She was 0 for 3 from the field, the team's second leading scorer. She's got a pair of field goals here in the third quarter. Oh, nice slip. Brent Hill.
Missed it, but on the rebound. Coombs, deep 3, splashes it home. She's got 9. Her first make since the opening quarter.
Can they get stops? Especially when this young lady has the ball in her hands.
It has not been single digits the entire half.
Shoot the gap, Ella. Shoot the gap, Ella.
It was 12 at the break. It's been as many as 17. Holman on the drive, missed it. Touch last.
It's going to stay there. Going to stay Southeastern ball.
Brindley will check in.
Coach Eves is going to call a timeout right in front of us here, Greg.
South Knox with a full timeout will step aside. 58-46. Royals lead it by 12 on ISC.
Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitko and Daly. We go to work when you can't.
Many thanks to Jordan Shue, Eric Annette for their hard work in today's broadcast. This is one of 3 sites we have going concurrently at ISCSportsNetwork.com. Action at Kokomo, the Phil Cox Classic, and action at North Central, the Paul Logan Classic. Mikuleski got fouled, and she will shoot 2.
You know, you have to guard her tight because she could pop and shoot that 3, but you've got to drop off of her faster when she makes a basket cut, and that's really been the 2-point looks she's gotten today, have just been she's beaten people off her first step. She's got those long legs, she's quick, she stays low when she makes her cuts. She makes her free throws too.
Parrish will check out.
Perfect 5 for 5 now at the line.
South Knox has given a great account of themselves. Detweiler will shoot 2. And this could have easily gotten lopsided. It has not. They have battled every step of the way.
Overall, they've got the 50-50 balls. I thought the first quarter, a couple long rebounds the Royals got, but overall, they got the 50-50 balls in this game. They've just had trouble getting good shot looks, sometimes getting rushed a little bit.
And frankly, got to make a few more free throws.
Yeah,
that has been an issue. Make that one. Full court man pickup, which means get it to Holman, get out of the way.
Well, again, she's going to go left so she can go downhill on the right side, play downhill.
There's a steal. Foot race, and Hill felt the footsteps of Mikuleski the entire time.
Yeah, great hustle by Maya.
And Houston lays it up and in. Her second field goal. And if you're going to nitpick, if you're Coach Satterfield, maybe a few too many turnovers this half, but again, you're beating a team that's ranked top 10 in the state by double digits almost the entire way, and your star player has 35.
With 4.5 to go still, too. And without forcing any shots. All her shots have been very...
No.
She's gotten herself open. She's made good cuts.
Absolutely in the flow of the offense.
Yeah. She's been the first one to help other players up, too, for South Knox when they've been knocked down. Curl cut. A little bit too long a pass for Stidham to make.
Brindley fires and left that one short. Makaleski will track down the loose ball. One more time before that shot was taken. Timeout called by Hamilton Southeastern. Another full timeout for HSE. Let's step aside again. 4:12 to play. Royals lead it by 17 on the ISC Sports Network. And gets the highlights. Now he takes the look away, and he puts it away. "17-point lead for Hamilton Southeastern." Thanks for joining us on the ISC Sports Network. This is one of 32 games that we are featuring today and tomorrow on ISC. Hamilton Southeastern fans, unfortunately today we're not scheduled to see your girls team the rest of the season. We got your boys team a couple of times. Looking forward to seeing John Ashworth's Royals at North Central on January the 7th, as well as the Hamilton Southeastern boys at Carmel on Valentine's Day. That'll be a foul. Foul goes against Grace Detweiler. Check in here for South Knox. Green back in the game. Hill applying the defensive pressure. HSE going a little bit deeper to their roster here as well. And foul on the floor. Again, also against Detweiler.
And the dead ball, Sarah French checked in for South Knox, wearing number 24.
If you are South Knox and you're going to have to basically turn around and play within 3 hours and 45 minutes.
Been there.
How do you do it?
You get them off their feet as soon as the game's over. You get them fed. You got to get some carbs in them, you know, some light carbs in them, get them fed, but you got to get them off their feet. But you know, since I'm an old man and coached a long time ago, kids recover a little bit faster nowadays. There's energy drinks. They're used to playing AAU basketball where they play sometimes 3 games a day, sometimes ridiculously 4 games a day. So it's not as quick as a turnover, but yet as a coach, you want to get them off their feet. Yet you also got to get them prepared for the next game because they just can't go in there without any knowledge of who they're guarding or playing or what they're going to do game plan-wise.
Detweiler commits her 4th foul, 3rd of the quarter. Bobe down the lane.
Nice take.
Layup got it. Well, the good news for South Knox is that they are playing a team from a size-wise in the next game that is much more similar to them. Pretty much 5'11" and under for Homestead. And Holman.
And I think in some ways, Coach Satterfield's thinking about this also. It's like, okay, we'll run our offense, but we'll take our time, spread it out.
You are getting to your continuity sets here for Hamilton Southeastern.
Right. Yep.
And they're going to start to go deeper into their bench. Makaleski had it poked away and touched last by South Knox.
Makaleski took a interesting little spill there, too. That's the other thing you got to think about. And they're going to get her out of the game right now just because of an inadvertent foul could – matter of fact, she's bleeding, I think, her elbow. She got a little floor burn there. She slid into the press row on opposite of us where we're located.
Ava Kashani checks in, as does Abby Clayton for the first time. Green. It'll be a foul against Green of HSE.
That'll be Ant's 4th foul. It's a little careless with the ball and tried to bring it back in and pushed off the Spartan. I like how South Knox continues to fight down 16. Arguably the 2 best players on Southeastern on the bench, so let's see if they can make a little bit of a dent in the margin here.
And this is an all-bench 5 for Hamilton Southeastern. Abby Orm is in there as well, 5'3" sophomore. So This group in charge is kind of holding the fort here for Hamilton Southeastern.
They're still playing pretty good defense, though.
Bobe, turn and score.
South Knox had to work on that one, but Bobe having a really good second half here.
Back to a 14-point game. It's been double digits the entire half, but it's never been a blowout at any point in time.
If you're Southeastern, you'll take a layup, but I have a feeling otherwise they're going to just take it easy. As soon as I say that, I thought the Ant was going to shoot it.
Orm does and misses everything. Great save by Brown on the effort, but hits the baseline. And Ryan Satterfield does some quick calculations, kind of glanced at the play, looked up the scoreboard, and maybe you're one more score for South Knox about trying to put your starters back in the game.
Maybe a little bit longer. Maybe a little bit, but we'll see. No sense of urgency here for South Knox, though. They walk the ball up the floor.
3, no for Hill. With the rebound to Bren Hill. Bren's put back is good. She's got 6. Here comes the pressure. Orm into the front court.
Go get it. They need to get another trap. They need to go trap the ball.
Next South Knox foul puts Hamilton Southeastern at the free throw line.
And that's okay. They've got 5 reserves in there, but they've got to trap the ball, start doing something to get a little bit of pressure here.
You've taken about 30 seconds off the clock on this possession, which is exactly what you want. You are officially playing keep away at this point if you're Hamilton Southeastern.
Yeah. Spartans aren't doing much about it. They seem content to just guard them man-to-man.
There may be some South Knox fans think, you know what, a shot clock in high school basketball is a good idea. How about that? Clayton missed it, but that's exactly how you run your offense.
Hey, you take that shot any day, up 20 or up 2.
Bobe, no, and Clayton with the rebound. And then they're going to get Clayton, I think, on a foul on the block out. Correct, which will be her first, and it'll be the team's 4th foul, so no free throws. Again, see to the block out.
Yeah, that was the right call. No, spot on. It was the right call.
For South Knox, Ellie Burke will check in. That'll be a push on Orm in the back.
That'll be a 2-shot foul.
Had 2 hands in the back on Hill. So Hill to the free throw line, where she is 3 of 6 so far today. And connects. She's got 13.
We referenced this earlier, free throw shooting.
Yeah.
They could be much closer if they'd knocked down some free throws that they missed earlier. The flip side of that was Southeastern would have their starters probably still in. They have 5 reserves if you're just joining us.
Bobe ended up colliding with her own teammate. Hopefully she's all right. Foul on the push goes against Sarah French. So Orm to the line. Here's its pretty solid 8-player rotation that Hamilton Southeastern uses. Orm with the just 4th bench point of the game for HSE. Orm getting her 9th game action of the season and makes both free throws.
Looked good on both free throws, absolutely.
South Knox pulled Bobe from the game.
Yeah, she took a pretty good haul.
Yep.
Pretty good fall there.
Hill on the turn and
Nice.
1. Hill with 8. And a chance to make it 9. Calculator risk by Coach Satterfield has paid off in terms to get his starters 2 or 3 minutes at the end of the game.
Trap.
Another steal by South Knox. Hills 3, no. Fight for the loose ball. Detweiler. That shot is good. That's Burke. Burke gets her first points, but that's it. Well, literally the only possession it was single digits the second half was the last possession.
Yep.
HSE got the win. South Knox, against one of the state's best teams, give a fantastic account of themselves. Pete, final thoughts on this one?
Royals survived. Michaleski was just tremendous. Maya just had a wonderful game, and she was the difference in this ball game. You take her away, these teams are pretty darn even, if not other way around.
35 for Michaleski. Today's game presented in part by Galitko and Daly. Work Injury Lawyers. Learn more at IndianaWorkers.com and IndyMalpractice.com. By the Indy Card Exchange. Look on the IndyCardExchange.com to see how you can make money off of your collection. And by Visit Henry County. Take your shot in Henry County, Indiana. Visit hoopsandhenry.com for trip planning ideas. So, for fans of these two teams, 6 o'clock coverage start time for our second set of games. Consolation game, South Knox and Homestead, Spartans versus Spartans. For game number 2, the championship game, Lawrence Central and Hamilton Southeastern, number 1 versus number 2 in the state.
I'm not going to see you tonight. I will be at North Central tomorrow for the Paul Logan Classic.
Yep.
So I won't get a chance to do this until next week. Happy birthday on the 30th of December, Greg. It's a tradition since I get to do some Hall of Fame tournament games with you. Happy birthday.
This is the first time in like 4 years I've not spent my birthday in Newcastle. Thank you, Pete. James Schott joins for the evening session. We hope you join us then. Final score in this one, Hamilton Southeastern 67, South Knox 59. Goodbye for now from Newcastle on the ISC Sports Network.